What's up, guys? I just wanted to make a brief video about my '02 Dodge Ram 2500 four-wheel drive Cummins, and it's got the 24 valve, and I did the P-pump conversion to it. And I wanted to make this video because, you know, whenever I was doing my P-pump conversion, I found that there was not very many videos, if any at all, of people on doing their P-pump conversions or making any kind of details on how they did it. And I kind of wanted to make a short video, even though I didn't get any video of me tearing it down and putting it back together. I'll explain it as best I can. But you know, basically, I mean, for one, you got to take off the front bumper, which I have mine off, and you got to take off the condenser and all the coolers and radiator and all the accessories off the front of the engine, because you have to pull the timing cover and then the rear timing cover, and you also got to pull your fuel injector pump and all your fuel lines off, and your intake air-to-air boots and all that. And you got to pull your power steering pump and your vacuum pump right down there. Can't really see it right here, but yeah, there's your vacuum pump. And anyway, you got to pull off your rear timing cover right here. But in order to do that, you got to pull the cam shaft, and when you pull it, I've seen people that use dowel pins, and you know, out of like little wooden dowel pins to hold their tappets up. And you know, I mean, I just don't know how I felt about that one. That one didn't feel too reliable to me. So what I did was I went to Harbor Freight, and I bought a bunch of magnets, and I extended them out, and I measured, you know, how tall they needed to be, and I stuck them down in there one by one after I pulled the push rods and everything. And well, you know, when I got the length right, what I did is I put some tape around where they extend out, and you know, to keep them from moving, and I lifted them up with the tappet on there. And what I would do is I took some zip ties, and I zip tied them around the magnet around to one of the valve springs on the head. And that's how I did mine, to keep the tappets up, so you can pull, because that's what you have to do. You have to pull those up so you can remove the camshaft. And that's how I did mine, and it was very effective. And you know, this is a very time-consuming process, this you know, job of doing the P-pump conversion. You know, it takes a lot of time and a lot of effort, and someone that doesn't really know how to do this kind of stuff shouldn't get into it, you know, without someone to help them or further research. But you know, one thing I wanted to show you was how I did my fuel filter housing, because you have to relocate it, because the P7100 is so huge. It takes up so much space that what I did was I put it right here behind it. See, right here behind the pump. And what I did was I built a bracket right here under the fuel lines there. And it's just a short little piece of steel plate, and I put it over there to extend it out, because right behind it is the computer. And also, let's see if I can show you. I mean, it's a lot of modifications in this process. I used the fuel lines off of the fuel filter, all the original stuff, but instead of like bending them, because you don't want to bend them too much, I just I mean, I was able to use this one, the feed line from the bottom of the fuel filter housing, but the return line, I have it ran right here, and it goes off, and I cut it off, and I put a piece of 3/8 air hose, rubber air hose on there, and it works just fine. And also, I wanted to show you, I wanted to point out this this turbone. I got that off of eBay for 140 bucks. It was a freaking steal. I couldn't believe it. You know, I went ahead and ordered it because I was like, you know, this sounds too good to be true. You know, $140 for a turbo. I was like, that's just unbelievable. So I went ahead and got it, and turns out it's the real deal. I mean, it works good. I've been driving my truck with it, no problems. One thing I haven't done is I haven't completely figured out the kill switch yet, which, you know, maybe y'all can leave me some comments on how y'all ran y'all's. If, you know, somebody else out there that's watching this did the 24 valve P-pump conversion, maybe give me some pointers. I just haven't figured out where I wanted to wire it yet. The only wire I'm having problems with is the hold wire, not the pull wire, the one that holds it in place. You know, I'm trying to think of what else, you know, you might encounter that you might have problems with on this, but, you know, it's pretty straightforward. You know, just take your time, you know, because it's a lengthy process. You know, just, you know, take everything off one at a time, and you know, keep all the related bolts and parts, you know, with that particular part, you know, when you're taking things off, and to make it easier for the reinstallation. And you're also going to have to relocate your ECM. And like I say, if you can see that yellow sticker down there, that's where the computer is. I just moved it further back on the engine block. Some people mount them off to the side, like on the over here under the brake master cylinder on the side of the fender well, but I wanted mine on the block, you know. And you know, also like I say, it's a lot of modification process. You know, I'm just trying to think, like I say, of everything. I know this bracket right here for your throttle cable and everything, I think it does have some parts where you have to drill holes, but like I say, you just follow the instructions. And I just want to give a shout out to Crazy Carl's Turbos, because that's where I got my P-pump conversion kit. It was the cheapest one I found, and you know, it's worth every penny. I've had no problems with it, and they were very friendly, very helpful with service. And I even had some problems, and you know, they were right on it to help me, and everything was resolved. And you know, I recommend them 100% for anybody else that's trying to do this but don't have a lot of money, you know, because I'm that way. And like I say, it was a beautiful kit. It had everything you need, and you know, everything's good. My truck's running after all these years of it being down, because I had problems with the VP44 injector pump, and I done went through 3 of those, and you know, I was just tired of it, and I didn't want to have to worry about the unreliability. So, you know, that's why that was one of my main reasons. Also, I wanted reliability too, you know, with the truck. And you know, there's just so much more you can do with this pump. So, you know, I'm happy. And, you know, it's just, like I say, with this pump, the sky's the limit. You can do anything you want with it. I don't plan on putting a lot of horsepower in mine, you know, at least not until I upgrade my transmission, because these Dodge trucks have a problem with their transmissions not being able to hold up to these Cummins engines and their power, especially when you go to modifying them. So until I get ready to rebuild mine and, you know, put quality parts in there, the parts that you need to hold up that usually fail on these, you know, I don't plan on doing any horsepower, because really I'm just after fuel economy. I want it to be best on fuel as possible. You know, so and another thing, like I forgot to add this intake spacer and the bolts onto my kit whenever I did it. So I got the intake spacer, I think it was off of Shield Diesel. And the bolts, I went down to my local bolt warehouse and got those all threads and those bolts right there for next to nothing, you know. And but yeah, everything is great. Like I say, it runs good. You know, if there's any questions or anything that you might have if you're doing one that I might be able to clarify for you, please leave a comment below. Because like I said, you know, I wish I would have done a video of me tearing this down and doing it, because I would have done a detailed video. But like I say, I was just trying to do everything off of memory, you know, and try to explain it the best I can on video. But I hope this video helps. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe.